Hey, Composing Gloves here, and today we're going to do sound design with Sytrus. We're going to be looking at lasers. I have a metallic laser, there's the regular laser, there's the pitch laser thing that sounds sort of like a monster. So, let's talk about this. Let's do this thing, bro dude, man, bro dude. So, first I'll show you the metallic sort of laser that I got going for me. Sounds like this. Down low. Doesn't sound that metallic, but up high. And there's a whole bunch of different things you can do to this sound. So there's that one. It's really annoying, but it could be useful in a track. And you notice it's got that bow, 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 like that 8-bit sort of feel to it. It's FM. It's FM that's happening there. And then let's open up another Sytrus. This is your stereotypical laser. Let's make one of those. So your stereotypical laser usually is a saw wave that has its pitch being bent. And on our envelope, we're going to delete a couple points here and do something like this. So you could go down. Make it shorter. Or you could do a high. So that's your stereotypical laser. I've got aliasing going on, so I'm going to oversample it. So those are always fun sounds. You add a little bit of reverb and do things like that. I'm not going to really talk about that sound because it's literally that simple. Make a saw wave, create an envelope to control the pitch. You're done. So, and there's one other one, and this is sort of a crazy sounding one. So that's just like an example of a whole bunch of crazy lasers. Now, if we make it low, it's very different than up high because it's a ratio setting. So make it higher. Quite interesting. You can get some little ding, 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 ding sounds. All right, so let's talk about the patch. How did I make this metal patch type deal? So it's really actually pretty simple patch. The ideas come down to the envelope. Now I was controlling, if you want to know how I did that one, I used the exact same patch, only I automated the pitch. So that's what's going on there. So to make this patch, you start off with a operator 1, and I made it a triangle wave. Originally it was a saw wave, but it gave me a lot of sort of distortion I didn't like because of the nature of the modulation. But a sine wave works just as fine as well. The volume envelope, sort of like a plex, it goes boom, 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 boom. When I release, there's a small release. And if I got rid of that, it behaves quite differently. So I kind of want that there for my sound. You might not want it. On 2, it is modulating 1 by about, like, I don't know, half. I don't consider this to be half, just so you know. This is like half, because that's just phase inverted side, so not half. Okay, so I have it on 8, so it's several octaves higher. It is a triangle wave, and there's a few special things that are going on that create this sound, because if you set up the envelopes wrong, you won't get this sound. So if I turn it off, I already have a pitch movement going on. And you'll notice that's a ratio. It's got 6 on it, and on the pitch, it's already moving up. And I could manipulate this envelope to get a number of sounds. So, one, that's important. So that's what these two are going on. This is just always on. I don't know what the deal is. This must automatically happen when I open it. I've never noticed that before. Okay, so that's what's going on there. So on 2, it's got its own thing. And 2 is obviously modulating 1. And as a result, it's a triangle wave. It's gone up an octave, so it's already pretty high. And it's as if I'm moving this ratio around. I'm moving the pitch, not the ratio, I'm moving the pitch around. So I guess it's like I'm moving the hertz value. So on the volume, no, it's like the ratio because they play higher notes. It's a different ratio. I don't know. This is details. So on the envelope, it's got this. So I'm controlling the volume and the pitch on this guy. So the pitch goes up over time. If I turn the volume envelope off, that's what I get. I didn't want that. I wanted one to start its rise, and you can see it starts immediately. I wanted it to start pitch bending before the modulation kicked in. So it goes boom, one. So original sound for like a millisecond, couple milliseconds, and then the other sound comes in. It's like 50 milliseconds later or something. So I wonder if you could see the millisecond offset. I don't know how to interpret that up there. So anyways, if we change the pitch envelope on this, so this is the volume envelope. It's coming on, and then it comes down, which is important. It needs to come down a little bit to get that the other side of it, and then it also has a release on it. With it, no release, it sounds like this. You get that ring, which is not something I want. So I will deal with that release on there. It's kind of an interesting deal. So on the pitch, it's got a similar thing. It's got a pitch rise. It takes a little while to do its rise, though. So it lets the first one do its rise, and then it rises, causing the rise on the other one to sound more metallic. Because this is changing the timbre. It's not changing the actual pitch of the instrument. So if I change this, it sounds, you get all sorts of crazy textures. So let's go ahead and make one, because talking about it's great, but it's kind of confusing. So let's go to default, get a Sytrus. Okay, now we're gonna choose default. We're gonna come over to 1. I'm gonna make it a triangle wave, as I previously saw. Originally, I had it as a saw wave in the creative moment. So let's go ahead. We're going to turn on the envelope. We're going to turn it on turn on immediately, and then we're just going to have it release out. And then we're going to do another envelope for the pitch. And I want it to be a single pitch rise, so it's not like going to be this weird thing. Make it a bit longer so I have more time to work with my other sound. And I want it to be higher. It reminds me of so many old video games. I'm going to turn on oversampling to about 4 because that's just from experience. Digital audio basics, if you don't know what that is, but you should have watched it after watching the Sytrus from the ground up. So I'm going to modulate it by 2 right off the bat. I know I want it to be a higher tone modulation. I want the harmonics to be more spread out because that will create a more like a purer tone. There'll be less harmonics, less jumbled together. So I want to go to like 8 or 9. I experimented with higher ones, but 8 was about where I wanted it. And I'm going to make this a triangle wave. And this is going to modulate 1. I'm going to turn off that. So right now I'm listening for a metallic texture that I like. That one sounds kind of interesting. Maybe not all the way to half. I could go farther. Maybe that's what I want. But I want something like that. And I'm going to move the pitch up anyway. So it's not like this is the limit. So now I'm going to turn on my envelope. And I'm going to delete these points back here. And I'm going to turn this on so that it turns on over time. And I do not want it to be that severe. So it sounds kind of corny. I'm going to turn, that's because it's happening right away. So I'm going to turn on the volume automation for this. I'm going to make it a pretty quick rise. And we're getting pretty close. So I do want it higher up. Get some of that raspy, like, do. And I'm going to mess with the wave shaper. Give me more metallic texture. Now, that's pretty much the sound. So let's really quick make something like that. So let's come in here, add a tone, make it kind of low, and we are going to. It's like a metal laser. I would not want to ever be hit with a metal laser. That would really hurt. Create automation clip. I wonder how that would work. Like, would the laser, would it be light metal? Like, I don't even know. It doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to undo what I just did. And I'm going to leave it at that tone. No, you know what? I'm going to start off with a big boom. Oh, what am I doing? I'm freaking moving, modulating X. I want to move the pitch. Create automation clip. There we go. So it's going to start off, bang. It's going to go right back. It's going to stay there. At the last moment, it's going to jump up in pitch. Then it's going to do several drops. Do. Maybe going down. Do a small riser so you can hear that sort of a timbre. Hang out down here. Do a small rise. Then we'll do a bigger rise. And then we'll finish off with a straight, a dip, a straight, a slightly lower pitch with a small bend, and go back to the original tone. That sounds quite, that's a laser. So let's see if we can get our modulation in on some of this action. So what we can do to get more modulation is we can go, and we could even try, let's do some of these lower tones. This is sound way crazy, man. And upper tones, and then maybe even some higher upper tones. We'll do some down here, another one down there, one down there, one back at the original. And, oh, I was not paying attention. Oh well, that's fine. So if you ever need to make a laser, there's some ideas for you. That's like sort of laser 101, more advanced lasering than the basic. Boo, boo, boo. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day. Got something that Sytrus doesn't have, which I'm relatively shocked that Sytrus doesn't have this, but it doesn't currently. Maybe one day. You can, let's say in Sytrus, let's go back to Sytrus. Let's say you want to do this, something like that. And you're like, oh, I want to, okay, so I'm FMing, and I want to turn this knob on and off specifically. I want to turn it off.